Hello and welcome to the Cinematic Attic YouTube channel. I'm Mike. How you doing? This is the channel where we love all movies, all genres, and all formats of physical media, so if that's okay with you, welcome. Alright, taking a look at what I picked up that I want to spotlight. I know it's been a while. It's been several months since the last video. A lot of things happened. One thing that happened is that I went for about an entire month just more obsessed with my other hobby comics and buying those. Barely about any movies. And then I just kind of, got behind. Things happen. But I'm here. And I'll be back again also after the holidays with another update, specifically so that I can also give you my 10 favorite first watches of 2024. But starting this time around, collection update, I'll start with the Vinegar Syndrome and partner label titles, as I often do. But not a whole lot to show. Actually, first two of three are partner labels, including, from VHS Hitfest, Asylum of Terror. I got this movie specifically to upgrade a VHS. And of course, in this update, you'll see a lot of VHS upgrades, a lot of full screen DVD upgrades, like you usually do. But this is one of them. Then from AGFA, the Cult of AGFA Horror Show, a kind of mixtape film of horror trailers. And then, of course, you do get the entire trailers, uncut versions of all the trailers, which I appreciate. And some shorts and other things. This kind of thing is irresistible to me. So picked that up. And then the only Vinegar Syndrome proper item that I got was, of course, Forgotten Jolly Volume 7. I will always buy these. These things are wonderful. This one actually upgraded a VHS for me with this film, Obsession, A Taste for Fear, which I had on VHS, but can now get rid of. Sweets from a Stranger, and Mystery. So, looking forward, of course, to watching those. Then I'm going to take a sidestep here into television. I actually bought some television series this time around, to the point in which they're worth showcasing. Now, the least of which I got because Amazon, the price suddenly dropped like $20 one day. And this has been one that I've wanted to get for years, and finally did. The complete A-Team. All seasons, one big package. So yeah, grabbed that. Just because the price was right at the time. But the two that I really was happy to get and had put off for so long just because of the price. But I got a good deal. I took advantage of one of Target's sales online. And the first item I got the complete Bonanza. All 14 seasons. Love my westerns, love my TV westerns, especially since last year when I really became obsessed with westerns. This is a show that I actually have not seen more than a handful of episodes, but I've always wanted to get into. This was kind of like I'm someone who grew up with Michael Landon. Obviously, Little House on the Prairie, then Highway to Heaven. This was the show before those, and I kind of want to complete the trifecta, the Michael Landon trilogy of big TV shows. So did that. And this thing's a monster, but nothing compared to the next one. Can you guess what it is? The complete Gunsmoke. In a package which could kill someone. Yep. All 20 seasons? Yep. This is another show that's obviously classic. It's been called by many the greatest Western TV show. And frankly, I've only seen, at this point, maybe 5 episodes. So I wanted to really dig into that. And of course, this will be a project that may last the rest of my life. But very happy to get this. And of course, since I got that whole show, I was aware, of course, that there were follow-up TV movies, which I had to get to complete the whole thing. So first of all, I got the Gunsmoke movie collection with the first 3 TV films. Return to Dodge, The Last Apache, and To the Last Man. And then the other 2, which actually came out from Kino Lorber. You can see their familiar stuff there, but spines aren't typical Kino. But you have The Long Ride and One Man's Justice to complete Gunsmoke. So, yeah, I'm in for a great project. Moving on, speaking of Kino, got 2 other cult releases. This one I was really looking forward to because I love TV movies and I love obscure TV movies, especially the classic Ghosts 1970s Gothic television. I'm sure you've seen this in other people's videos if you watch other people's videos, which I'm sure you do. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different late night TV movies. These were part of a series of TV films shot on video that were only roughly an hour long. And they starred people like Susan Sarandon, David McCallum, people who you've seen in movies. But just the chance to get this, especially collected on a nice disc, instead of trying to find them desperately on YouTube and sometimes failing. This was great. This was a revelation. I hope they do more of these. I really, really do. So yeah, classic Ghosts. Actually, before I move on, I forgot to mention that those TV packages actually allow me to get rid of a whole slew of DVDs. These cheap things will go away. These actual pieces I'll delete from the collection, but I'll throw them in a drawer somewhere just in case a disc is bad or something, then I have a backup. But yeah, I'll technically be getting rid of all these. The next Kino, though, I got because it will upgrade a VHS. Helen Mirren in this film, upgrading this VHS that I have had 25 years. I mean, this is an old Vestron, actually. I watched this back when I got it from a video store going out of business, and I remember nothing, but wanted to get the Blu-ray to upgrade the VHS. And that is also from Kino Cult, as was Classic Ghosts. From regular old Kino Lorber. Yeah, you can tell I've been gone a while, although maybe not that long, because they release these very, very often. But I got 3, the latest 3, Film Noir Dark Side of Cinema collections. We have volume 20, which has Make Haste to Live, Appointment with Danger, and Captain Carey USA. I already owned these. I had this one on. I have this one on an imprint Blu-ray. I had this one on DVD, but I think they have different special features. I think this one had no special features, the DVD that I had, so that's all right. Volume 21. We get Cloak and Dagger, the Fritz Lang Cloak and Dagger, which upgrades a VHS, actually. Shack Out on 101. I watched this. This movie is quirky and awesome. That's Lee Marvin, believe it or not. And Shortcut to Hell, which I actually watched last night, and that's a pretty good one too. And we have volume 22, which has The Scarlet Hour, and then two that I already had. This one I had on DVD with no special features, but now I have Blu-ray and a commentary. Plunder Road, good film. Brisk 72 minutes, good film. And The Enforcer, which had on an imprint Blu-ray as well, but that's all right. I'm not going to break up the collection now. I'm 22 sets in. I'm not going to stop. Also from Kino, I think they had a sale or something. I picked up a few titles to upgrade VHS. Some Bronson, Breakheart Pass. Upgrading this. Anthony Quinn in The Dawn is Dead, which will upgrade this VHS. And some more Bronson, actually. Violent City, which I believe actually upgrades a full screen DVD. Then I placed an order with Hamilton Books. They had some interesting stuff, including a Code Red title of Panic, which I believe upgrades a full screen DVD. The Great Smoky Roadblock, which upgrades a full screen DVD. Another Code Red. The Tamarind Seed. This one's from Scorpion, actually, and I got it to upgrade this VHS. From Kino Lorber, Race for the Yankee Zephyr, also known as Treasure of the Yankee Zephyr, which is what I have it as on this VHS that I can get rid of. Another Code Red, Trouble Bound. Michael Madsen, Patricia Arquette, Billy Bob Thornton. Upgrading a VHS. The Late Great Planet Earth, another Scorpion title. This one narrated by Orson Welles. He does appear in it as well. as well as Wells. Upgrading a full screen DVD, actually. From Code Red DVD, Eye in the Labyrinth. I believe I got this just because it's an Italian film that I did not have. I'm not sure what genre, maybe giallo. Looks like a giallo. Another Code Red. We got Running Scared on DVD. Upgrading this VHS that I've had a very long time. Ken Wall, Judge Reinhold, John Saxon. Another Code Red. The Terror Within 2, which is a movie that I had seen but not owned before, so went ahead and picked it up. And then the final one from Hamilton Book. Some more Western television. I got this because it was cheap, not because of Ronald Reagan, but Death Valley Days. This is the 13th season, and this was put out by Shout Factory. They put out the first 2, maybe 3 seasons, and then they skipped to season 13 and maybe 14, I can't remember, but they skipped ahead to these because Ronald Reagan became the narrator, the host, if you will. I guess they figured that his face would sell. But I just grabbed it because it was cheap and it's Western television. And I've seen several episodes of this series and I enjoy it. Of course, great guest stars as any other show. I see Leonard Nimoy, Tom Skerritt. Yeah, so that was Hamilton Books. Moving on now to Severin. Severin put out one of the greatest things in the world. A sequel to one of the other greatest things in the world that they put out. All the Haunts Be Ours. A Compendium of Folk Horror, Volume 2. The first volume of this was a revelation. Probably, no. It is my favorite box set that Severin ever put out. I'm still not even done with it. And here we go with Volume 2. I was so hoping there'd be a Volume 2. And this one just came out quicker than I expected. Very happy about that. I'm sure you've seen this in other videos. This is a nice brick. This time around, 24 films, so more films. A whole bunch of shorts, of course. And a hardcover book of horror fiction. New horror fiction. A little Severin book. But yeah, you get your guide to what's inside. But then, yeah, more folk horror. I am just reeling with how eager I am to get into this. But I can't tell you how happy this makes me. The only film in here that I already had was Psychomania, which I had on an Arrow Blu-ray, but that's all right. I did not have the other 23, except one other that actually upgrades a VHS, Born of Fire, which is in this box. So, added bonus there. Yeah, this, I mean, come on. During the Criterion Barnes & Noble sale. Actually, no, this was not Barnes & Noble. This was actually a site flash sale. One of those where I used like $30 worth of coupons that I have piled up. I decided to go ahead and upgrade 2 of my David Lynch movies. One to Blu-ray, being Lost Highway, which upgrades this VHS that I bought from the video store not long after it came out, as soon as it went to sell through. And to DVD, The Elephant Man, which upgrades this VHS. So, took that opportunity to do some upgrading. For my birthday, which was in October, I only got one movie as a gift. It was one of the many on my Amazon wish list. But this is to upgrade a full screen DVD. Dream Child. This is from Kino Lorber. About the author of Alice in Wonderland. This movie is fantastic. On 4K, I got Deadpool and Wolverine. I am not someone that rewatches movies because there are too many other movies out there to watch. I've seen this 3 times. Once in the theater, one to show someone else, and the third time, the middle time, I just put it on to check out the 4K. I ended up watching the whole thing. This movie's hilarious. Great action. Deadpool. MCU. Love it. To upgrade a full screen DVD of a movie that you'll find in a million public domain places. Laser Mission with Brandon Lee. Now this, of course, is a kind of a gray market real vault. I think it's made on demand. Yeah. But it's in widescreen, which is something that those public domain prints are not. So, got that. From Fun City Editions. I ordered these directly from them. I was so thrilled. I'm one of the people who were super thrilled to finally be able to upgrade a VHS that I thought perhaps would never be upgraded. Heavenly Bodies. This is just a fun movie. Upgrading the VHS, and you can see how they tried to make this look similar to the VHS artwork. But yeah. So thrilled that they did this. And I got the other new release, Paradise, which I've never seen. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. Yeah. A Full Moon movie. I got this just to upgrade a full screen DVD. Another World on Blu-ray. Couple from Film Detective. Upgrading full screen DVDs. First we have Ega. Yeah. But this is in widescreen. Actually has special features. But replacing a full screen DVD. And same situation with Vincent Price and Agnes Moorehead in The Bat. Widescreen version here on this Blu-ray. Upgrading a full screen DVD once again from Umbrella. We have Tom Skerritt and James Mason in A Dangerous Summer. This I have on a Mill Creek 50-pack and full screen. So remedying that sin right here. And that's some nice special features, I gotta say. Had a nice short film, a short documentary about the actual wildfires in Australia. But yeah, and 2351 widescreen. Upgrading a full screen DVD again. Ginger Snaps. This is a Scream Factory Blu-ray. This DVD I did not realize was full screen, but it is, so it's going away. It has nothing else on it to make it worth keeping. So, grab that. Mondo Macabro. Couple more full screen DVD upgrades. We have The Witch's Mountain. And Dr. Jekyll and the Werewolf. From VCI, actually. To upgrade a full screen DVD. Beast of the Yellow Night. Their Blu-ray is in widescreen. A 2K scan of the 35mm negative. And special features, liner notes. VCI giving it a try with their Blu-rays. VCI, usually what I buy from them is the old B-Westerns, because most of their other stuff, like Alpha Video, is maybe not the best. Maybe it's full screen stuff. But here they are with the good stuff. From MVD and MVD Rewind. The first one looks to be just from regular MVD. That's Ghost Riders. I got this to upgrade this VHS, this old Star Maker. Skeleton Cowboys. That's awesome. Anyway, Ghost Riders. The two from Rewind. Got Mean Guns. Upgrading VHS. And that is supposed to be like that. That's an effect mimicking an old ripped VHS. And Hardware Wars and Other Film Farces. This upgrades at least a couple shorts, including obviously Hardware Wars. I think the other one is Pork Lips Now, that I had on, or have on, a VHS that looks very much like this. I think it's like a big Warner clamshell. But it has a couple other shorts that are not here, so I have to keep that. But at least I got a couple of them on this Blu-ray. And there are other shorts on here. There's other special features. There's a lot of stuff on here. But yeah, Hardware Wars and Other Film Farces. From Film Masters, we have 3 discs. I'll start with this one. I discovered that they actually do this DVD made on demand, I believe. Yep. Series that basically puts public domain movies out on DVD in at least widescreen, at least a decent picture. Not necessarily Blu-ray quality, but at least you get the watchable film and proper aspect ratio. So I picked up one of those, and that is Mark of the Hawk. This is Sidney Poitier. But then I did get a couple of their Blu-rays, including Door to Door Maniac, also featuring Right Hand of the Devil. I got it, though, for Door to Door Maniac, also known as 5 Minutes to Live, which I've seen. And this is a widescreen version, whereas the other, usually public domain version is not. So that's why I picked this up, to upgrade that. And then I couldn't resist. This just, you know, the limited availability, the reputation, had to get from their limited edition line, Redneck Miller. Looks like a good time. Haven't watched it yet. Hopefully next video, one of their next releases, I'll be spotlighting, and it is one that I've been waiting for a long time. But we'll see that hopefully next time. From Blue Underground, I picked up the Blu-ray of the Stendhal Syndrome. Just a movie I never had. It's an Argento film I've just never had, so I was surprised by that and just said, buy that. Fix that little hole in the collection. So, got that. From Warner Archive, upgrading a full-screen DVD that I had. Jeff Bridges and Fearless. Upgrading a full-screen DVD by importing this from, I think, France? I'm forgetting. But Roger Corman's movie The Intruder with William Shatner. The DVD that's out there is full screen. This, however, is not. So, if you're looking for widescreen, this is, I think, the only way. And finally, the last item that I picked up is actually a Korean import of a Spanish movie, as in from Spain, Spanish movie. Because that's the only place I could find it on disc in widescreen. La Casa, also known as The Hunt, from Carlos Saura. This film I watched on the Criterion Channel, and so it's available there if you want to see it. But it is a great movie, and I wanted to own it. And then I found that not only did Criterion not put it out, but nobody had. So, fortunately, from Daeon Media, as you can see, a lot of Korean language, but it does have English up there. So, anyway, got that on DVD. So happy just to have a copy. Check this out. This was my introduction to Carlos Saura. This is one of his earlier films, so makes me want to check out more. Good stuff. Here's everything else I picked up from Goodwill. And this special edition of The Martian will allow me to get rid of this single disc version. From an antique mall. Happy to find a nice little pocket of horror films. And this one will upgrade this VHS. From an antique mall, found these 3 Blu-rays. This one upgrades VHS. This one's actually a Twilight Time disc. Surprised to find that. From an antique mall. From a Goodwill and a thrift store. Got some DVDs, including this Criterion for $2, which upgrades VHS. These also upgrade VHS. This one is a double feature from Scorpion. More VHS upgrades. And the rest. From a Second and Charles, I got these 3 DVDs to upgrade VHS. And I found one Warner Archive for deletion. To upgrade a full screen DVD, got this widescreen version of this film. From a Goodwill and a thrift store, just grabbed a few things, including 2 VHS upgrades. Got these 3 from a Goodwill, and these 2 from an antique mall, this one being a VHS upgrade. From Goodwill, got some DVDs. And these 2 will upgrade these 2 VHS. Used up my remaining Disney Movie Insiders points to get this for free. From a thrift store, some dollar DVDs. And from a Goodwill, I got these. From another Goodwill, got these items, including a lot of Columbo. And from an antique mall, got these. And so these VHS can be deleted from the collection. From eBay, to upgrade a full screen DVD, and for these 2, upgrading VHS. From Goodwill, and these 3 will upgrade VHS. Went to Second and Charles, got some movies, including 3 Thin Man films and this couple of documentaries about the stars. Did find a Warner Archive, Bowery Boys Volume 3, 12 films. Plan 9 from Outer Space, 20 Million Miles to Earth, and a Mae West 5 film collection. These all will then upgrade these VHS. Elsewhere in the video, you saw that I got the complete novel edition DVD of The Outsiders, which is a longer cut. I got this from eBay. This is the theatrical cut, which I got specifically so that I could upgrade this VHS of the theatrical cut. So now I have both cuts on disc. For deletion, from Goodwill, got some DVDs. Including this Kino Lorber edition, which will upgrade this VHS. And I also got from eBay Man with the Golden Arm to upgrade a full screen DVD. From eBay. From Goodwill. This one upgrades VHS. From Big Lots. This DVD will upgrade this VHS. And this season 7 of Next Generation will allow me to get rid of these 2 VHS. And the rest, this is the rest of what I got there, including a couple Blu-rays. From an antique mall, got some items, including this 4-film set. This one will upgrade a VHS. And then from eBay, got this out-of-print Blu-ray of these 2 films because it's the only way to get them in widescreen. So I'm replacing this full screen double feature. And I got the full series of seaQuest on Blu-ray. This time around on the Pantheon, I have two movies plus a bonus. Movies in my Pantheon of favorite movies of all time. The first one is one that I actually mentioned a couple episodes back when I talked about the movie Ghost World, which is also on my list of favorite films. This is the movie where they took the opening credits dance scene. I don't know why I didn't show it with that movie when I showed that movie, but I'll remedy that now. That movie is an Indian film called Gumnam. So, as I said in that episode, Ghost World's opening credit scene with the song Jain Pehchan Ho drew me to this movie to check it out. So I sought this out. I originally got this disc, but strangely, that whole song is cut out of this version. And fortunately, I found this version from Eros International, which has the complete film. And it was a DVD-R that I got a long time ago. But yeah, so it's a obviously a long Indian musical film based around the Agatha Christie story, And Then There Were None, aka 10 Little Indians. All these characters are brought to an island, killed off one by one. But in the meantime, there's hijinks, song and dance, because, Bollywood. But I actually enjoyed this enough that it entered the Pantheon a long time ago. I usually don't like musicals, and quite frankly, I would have been happy if this weren't. However, obviously you have Jain Pehchan Ho, which is more of a rock tune, and the rest of the music in here is not too bad. I find that I like older Bollywood music as opposed to the more contemporary. So this was not so bad. I remember even searching on the internet decades ago for the whole soundtrack, which I did find on a very questionable website of where I downloaded it, hoping that I wasn't downloading viruses or something. But yeah, so just a fun film, Gumnam. As it is going to be the Christmas season, the holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate, I wanted to mention at least one holiday movie, considering the next episode of this video series won't be out until after the holidays. But one that I discovered actually last year, I believe, and would have probably made my top 10 first-time watches of that year had I, chose the movies on a different day. But especially because this was watched during the end of the year. So it took a little while to, marinate. But I love this movie. And it's a holiday movie, horror movie, and that is one that you've probably seen, Krampus. So, I had heard of this movie existing, and I'd heard of a whole bunch of other knockoff films, and I own a few of those that I haven't watched. But someone actually said, hey, yeah, that movie, the actual original movie from Universal, is pretty good. So I decided, well, for my holiday watching last year, I would watch this. And this was amazing. I mean, in terms of something contemporary and smart and horrific. And I also love films where there's some kind of menace in the snow. But this was just a very enjoyable holiday horror movie, which, even though it does have a lot of humor, it does not skimp on the horror, which is key. As a matter of fact, the end of the movie it's not a happy ending. And typically I don't like uh, when a movie has an ending that's just kind of almost purposefully mean, but the ending of this actually fit perfectly in terms of the horror it was uh, portraying, the message of the horror that it was putting out there. So this was just fantastic, and I'm sure you've seen this. But yeah, this is my holiday horror pantheon pick. But I also wanted to give you one more bonus because I know it's on my pantheon list, but it's a very common film. This one I definitely know you've all seen, and I'm sure you love. But just to mention it because it's on my pantheon list, favorite films of all time, a movie I've seen several times, and that is of course National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I don't know if you're human if you don't like this movie. This is like something that I would totally understand if you watched every year, and I know people who do, because it is that enjoyable, it's that funny, it's that memorable. So yeah, just wanted to mention that this is on the list, and if for some reason you haven't seen it, Christmas is coming up. Give it a shot. That's all I'm saying. All right, here's something else. So for this episode's bookshelf segment, I have two books here which I kind of refer to as two of my subway books. And what that means is, back when I lived in Baltimore, which I did for roughly 4 years, about a decade ago, I took the subway to work. I lived um, within city limits, but barely. And I worked downtown near the harbor, actually like a block away. So I took the train, took the subway, and of course I wanted to read something, so I always took something to read. And these are two cinema books that I read on the train. The first one is a book edited by Julian Upton from Head Press, and that is Offbeat: British Cinema's Curiosities, Obscurities, and Forgotten Gems. And that's exactly what it is. All the odd cult movies, the forgotten gems, the things you've probably not heard of. Let me find some examples here. Have you heard of Flight of the Doves from 1971? How about The Life Taker from 1975? Or What Became of Jack and Jill, 1972. So it's full of all sorts of obscurities. And of course, this is the kind of book that I love, where each film gets, its own capsule, although several page spotlight, where it gives you the title. Here's Charlie Bubbles, 1967. Get the credits, one paragraph synopsis, short paragraph synopsis, which in my mind, if you're doing a movie book and you actually include a plot synopsis, it should not be longer than that, honestly. And then, of course, they talk about the movie. So this is, especially if you're looking for rare British films, because that's what this is. This book is an absolute must-have. I enjoyed reading this just because it includes so many films that I'd never heard of, and so many films that I have not seen. So Offbeat, great little book. And moving from Britain to Italy, from Howard Hughes, Cinema Italiano, the complete guide from classics to cult. And this is indeed that. It covers Italian cinema, but mostly the kind of stuff that we enjoy, the cult films, the genre films. Chapter 1 is Hercules conquers the box office mythological epics. Then you have stuff like Tales from the Tomb, Gothic horrors. Battle of the Worlds, science, fact, and fiction. Shoot, Gringo, Shoot, Italian westerns. Eurocrime. So you got a chapter on each. Now, instead of doing it film by film, they do it topic by topic. But within that, you pretty much get a paragraph talking about each film. Like here we have a chapter on Gothic horrors, a subheading called The Dead Exhumed, the 1970s. And then you get, within each chapter, a paragraph on Lady Frankenstein, Blood for Dracula, Flesh for Frankenstein, The Devil's Nightmare, there's a paragraph about that. The Stranger of Vienna, paragraph about that. So it is very itemized in terms of film by film within a greater narrative, well, nonfiction narrative, if that even makes sense. Nonfiction composition, how about that? Anyway, this was great. It made me really want to go into little film festivals. Like I immediately wanted to watch a whole bunch of Sword and Sandal films once I read that chapter. So if you're interested in Italian film, this is a great place to start, especially if you're looking for Italian genres to check out each genre. This was a great find from IB Torres. That's the publisher. But yeah, Cinema Italiano. And that'll do it for this episode of The Cinematic Attic. Until next time, everyone, please enjoy your movies and have a great holiday season.